What's up, YouTube? It's Heretic here, and welcome back as we take a look at another deck that was recently played at the Dallas Regional Championships over this past weekend. This was, I believe, the 13th place deck, if I remember reading correctly, and this is not an idea that I would have come up with on my own, so mad props to the creators of this deck. And this is Mewtwo Garbodor without the Mega Mewtwo, so you could really trip some people up mentally with this as well, but again, not an idea I would have come up with. Basically, it's your generic Mega Mewtwo list, but with the Mega Evolution excluded. So, sticking with the damage change basic Mewtwo-EX, or the red Mewtwo as I like to call it. Shatter Shot for 1 Psychic, does 30 damage times the number of Psychic Energy attached to this Pokemon, which can build up to an easy 2-hit knockout on a lot of things with 3 energy, which is kind of your magic number here, is 3 Psychic Energy, as damage change will allow you to switch the number of damage counters on Mewtwo with the number on your opponent's active Pokemon. So we run 3 of him for our main attacker, 1 Jirachi as an alternate stalling attacker with Stardust, 10 damage, special energy denial, which the deck has plenty of, 2/2 Garbodor line to help out against decks like Gardevoir if we can get ourselves in a decent spot, although we probably lose that one anyway. More specifically, Volcanion and Greninja, and then 2 Shaymins, just draw power, standard stuff. And because we don't run the Mega Evolution, we also don't run Hoopa, so Jirachi just kind of takes its place. We'll go ahead and get into our items here. We've got a lot of energy denial. Like I said, Jirachi is joined by 2 Enhanced Hammers to counter double colorless energy and to a lesser extent double Dragon. We've got 1 Escape Rope, just for outs against Jolteon. 4 Max Elixir, replacing Mega Turbo since we're not running the Mega Evolution in this list. A bit faster acceleration, can get it on the first turn. 1 Super Rod to recover energy in Pokemon. And then we've got our Trainer's Mails there. We got 4 Trainer's Mail, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 VS Seeker, just standard stuff. And then we've got 3 Fighting Fury Belt, since again, no Mega Evolution, so we can still hit 210 HP with the use of Fighting Fury Belt, and then 3 Float Stones for Garbodor. Supporters, we've got 4 Sycamore, 3 N, 2 Lysander, nothing too crazy there. 1 Delinquent, a card Eric Gansman's kind of convinced me into starting to use in a lot of decks, and a couple reasons here. Of course, Parallel City being our only stadium and being the best and most played stadium in the standard format currently. And so if our opponent gets a Parallel down first, this will allow us to use ours. Another reason why Delinquent is nice is because you can beat bad players a lot of times just who refuse to try to play around Delinquent by maintaining a 4-card hand. By delinquenting them down to 0 in hand, automatically winning you a game a lot of times unless they top a Sycamore. You can also beat good players by doing that because, let's face it, sometimes you kind of have to play down below to 3 or below in order to, make a certain play to keep yourself in the most optimal position in a game. So, more often than not, though, that'll beat bad players a lot of times, though. So, free wins are good. You might be in a bad matchup and be able to steal a game or 2 against, like, Gardevoir or something. 1 Pokemon Center Lady. This is a card that has really, really been growing on me lately. I really need to switch this out for my full art version that I just got on here. But being able to heal 60 damage and all special conditions from one of your Pokemon in a 2-hit knockout format with stuff like Yveltal. This deck does the same thing. And then just a lot of decks right now doing that, forcing that with Garbodor against Volcanion, just in a 2-hit knockout format, being able to turn a 2-hit knockout into a 3-hit knockout is just absolutely crazy. Between damage change, healing, and Pokemon Center Lady, just a lot of things you can do there, just really, really good. So definitely a fan of that. And then 1 Team Flare Grunt, along with the double Enhanced Hammer and the Jirachi. Flare Grunt almost exclusively for the Yveltal EX matchup, something that Yveltal decks themselves right now are running. I think at least the optimal build, I think, runs at least 1 copy for the mirror match, because Y-Cyclone is such a big thing right now. Watching your opponent Y-Cyclone a double colorless off of their Yveltal EX and then leaving them with only 1 dark energy. You lay down Team Flare Grunt, and if they don't have a Float Stone or something, they just cry at that point with no energy and no way to attack you on the following turn, and you can get a huge leg up by doing that. So Team Flare Grunt really, again, like Pokemon Center Lady, I think just becoming such a good card right now. 2 parallels for our stadiums. We can knock Shaymins off our bench, or we can limit our opponent down to 3, which is good in a lot of matchups. and then 10 Psychic Energies to round it out. With no Mega Mewtwo, we find ourselves not needing double colorless. So instead, we just load up the basic Psychics to work with Max Elixir and Shatter Shot. A lot of benefits to doing that. It's also very beneficial as we don't fall victim to opposing Enhanced Hammers either in that play. Either, whatever. So this is a list that, like I said, I came across this online, and it's from the Dallas Regional. And so we're going to go ahead and take it for a spin and see if it is a flash in the pan at 13th place or if it really is something that needs to be considered. So let's get going. Alright, so let's go ahead and get going here. We see Grass, Lightning, Psychic, all kinds. That's like Vespiquen colors, only without it being in the format. Okay. So we're going to go first. That's usually a good thing. And let's see what we run into here. Well, we draw a decent hand. We got a Sycamore, we got a Mewtwo, we got a Trubbish, we got a Max Elixir that we're probably not going to use. I guess we could lead the Trubbish and try to go first turn Elixir play. Wouldn't be the worst thing ever. So I guess we'll just, we'll go ahead and do it that way. Seems pretty good. And he flips over a Combee and a Pikachu. So instead of Vespiquen Night March, it's Vespiquen Raichu. Alright. So we get Mewtwo. We go ahead and Max Elixir. There we go. There's the energy. And we'll go ahead and get a second one on there. Get a Fighting Fury Belt on there as well. And we will Sycamore for a fresh 7 cards. And so we're going to find Floatstone here. Go ahead and attach that and retreat into Mewtwo. And we can already be doing 100 damage by next turn, so that's pretty good. We're just going to go ahead and pass the rest of this. Not really seeing much point to do a whole lot else here, because if we can get Combee out of the way, we can parallel his bench all the way down and make Raichu very, very ineffective in the process. So hopefully we can get some things like that going our way. And so we do see double colorless goes onto the Pikachu. And he parallels us instead. Okay. So he's going to drop our bench to 3. I don't really think that means a whole lot other than we can't parallel him. It's really the extent of it. And we see a Pokemon catcher. He flips tails on it, though. We're going to see a Sycamore here. So he discards a Golbat and... okay. Lysander. So another Combee comes down. And he lowered the damage of his own Vespiquen's attack when he paralleled right there. So that's an interesting decision to see that he would do that rather than try to just keep it a Skyfield available. So we draw our second parallel city, which isn't helping us anytime soon. We're going to go ahead and put Psychic Energy down again, and we're going to find a Verse Seeker here, which is going to get us back an N, since I think I'd rather play that right now over the Sycamore due to double parallel still sitting in our hand. Still a chance we could Delinquent and then be able to parallel if we need to, or after he overrides it. So we get another Mewtwo. We've got 3 energies on that first one, so we can go ahead and put this Mewtwo down, and we can just throw these 2 cards out and go find Garbodor. Start locking some things down here. Take abilities away. And we didn't even have to use a Shaman to set up, which is really good, so we can Shatter Shot here for a knockout and claim our first prize card. And he's going to have to hit an awful lot of damage if he wants to avoid not just getting damage changed right back or Shatter Shotted for a KO. He could go for a Nuzzle here, but we do have Pokemon Center Lady in the discard pile, so we could just Versus Seeker for it. We do see he plays a Level Ball here. And we'll see what he's able to come up with. Garbodor would make it irrelevant, but I would have to wonder if he runs maybe like a Rattata in there or something to take care of Fighting Fury Belt. I would think he would have to. So we do see he grabs Raichu with the Level Ball. We also see Teammates come down, so he's going to get to search for any 2 cards now. Skyfield and Shaman or Ultra Ball could very much be in play here, although I guess Shaman is kind of a moot point with Garbodor basically sitting there saying, That's what Garbodor does best, though. So he grabs his 2 cards with Teammates. And let's see what we end up with here. Another Pikachu goes onto the bench. the active one evolves into Raichu. Now he could Circle Circuit us short of 90 damage, because the Fighting Fury Belt doesn't do anything with damage change, other than give us more HP to soak up damage. So he puts another Pikachu, another Combee down. He's hitting 80 damage right now, which would be a perfect number. And that's where he's going to Circle Circuit us with, is the 80 damage. So we can Versus Seeker here for the Center Lady, just to kind of create some longevity here. So we can do that, heal 60 damage off of our Mewtwo, attach an energy to the benched one, and go ahead and do another Shatter Shot here for a knockout. And so now we're up 2 prizes, and he's at the point where he's almost backs against the wall. He could technically give up one more KO and still be okay, but he'd have to start taking one-shots pretty much every round from then on. So if we can get a Fury Belt down on that second Mewtwo and maybe another energy card on the next turn, we would be in a very good spot. We do see he evolves one of his Combees into Vespiquen, and we need to monitor how many Pokemon he's keeping in here as well. Right now only 4, so he's only hitting for 40 damage right now, since the Parallel City is reducing his damage output by 20, so what would normally be 60 is now only 40. And we see another energy, double colorless onto the Pikachu, and he's going to end us to 4. So we're going to gain a card, but, well, I guess our hand is actually a little bit better now. We have a Max Elixir. We still have a Versus Seeker for supporters here. We do have Sycamore, Center Lady, and N all available. And then we have a Trainer's Mail still. So he's going to grab a Special Charge off his Trainer's Mail there, which he'll be able to either use now to put 1 double colorless back, or more than likely wait until this Pikachu is knocked out and then put both of his double colorless back, which seems like a pretty sound strategy. And so we're going to get nuzzled here, and he's going to flip heads, so we're going to need Pokemon Center Lady again to get ourselves out of this. We do find an Enhanced Hammer, so he gives us the heart, of course, saying, yeah, we did it. But we're just going to go ahead and Versus Seeker again for Pokemon Center Lady, and we're going to heal the paralysis and the extra 20 damage right off of there. And there's the broken heart. Alright. So that is all of our Versus Seekers. That is very much worth noting. And we're going to Shatter Shot here. So we are out of Versus Seekers, but we've got him backed up against the wall now. 3 prizes in. We find a Lysander. And if he's running any Shamans, I mean, I would certainly think so, unless he doesn't own any, we're probably not going to see him. Garbodor is already locking that down, and unless he finds a way to knock it out, it looks like we're going to be staring down just Vespiquens and maybe an attack from a Pikachu or a Raichu here and there, since we are now out of access to Pokemon Center Lady. So instead he brings up Vespiquen, puts a double colorless on it, and he's got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's doing 50 damage right now. Alright. And we do see the Special Charge returning the 2 double colorless energies back into the deck. And I don't really think we need to Enhanced Hammer if we just knock him out. So we'll see. Because Be Revenge is not exactly pulling its weight right now. He does play a Verse Seeker here, though, so we are going to see Teammates again. So that's going to grab a couple more cards, and he can stream another VS Seeker if he wants into his hand to set up an N next turn to drop us down to 2 cards in deck. Or not in deck, sorry, that'd be really bad. 2 cards in hand. Instead, he plays a second VS Seeker, grabs a Sycamore, and just plays it. So we do see Shaman and another Combee, it looks like, go to the sinkhole. 2 Shamans, actually. So he's got 5, 6, 7, 8, so he's doing 80 damage now. Did also bench a Zubat. He can't actually get the ability with Golbat, but what he can do is attack. He can hit us for weakness, do 20 with Golbat and 10 to each thing on our bench. And unfortunately, again, he hit us for 80, so we can't damage change him out here unless we chose to Lysander, which is not necessarily the worst option in the world. We can go ahead and play this energy down, and I think I actually will go ahead and Lysander here, and we can take the Combee, and then we can go ahead and drop an Enhanced Hammer on his energy, which he'll more than likely replace, but that's fine. And so we can go ahead and, you know, if he delinquents, it doesn't matter, so let's just go ahead and play this stuff. Let's go ahead and do that at least, and then we will damage change here to fully heal our Mewtwo and knock out the Combee. So he says, well played now. And we do find another Fighting Fury Belt in the prizes, so for the second Mewtwo. And he goes ahead and forfeits the game here. We've got a pretty good situation staring at us now. Vespiquen would be doing enough for us to just damage change back to him now, and he doesn't really have many other answers going on, so understandable why he forfeited that game. And so Mewtwo goes the distance in this first game, and we will go ahead and take it for another spin here. Alright, so we see Dark, Water, Fire, Rainbow Road maybe? I mean, he does have a Xerneas on his box. It's the only thing I can think of that would run that many different types. Alright, he still hasn't flipped the coin. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Okay. In other news, let's see what's on the internet right now. The Colts fired Chuck Pagano yet? Or Brian Grigson, I guess I should say. That would be the preference. Both of them. Oh, we lost the coin flip. Okay. I didn't even see that. At least he flipped the coin. Alright, so we get a so-so kind of hand here. Not great, not terrible. Maybe he plays an N. I don't know. So, start with a Mewtwo. Oh, this guy's being insufferably slow. I hate when people do this. It's like, you know, sometimes I feel like they do that because their internet connection's slow, and I understand it. And then other times I feel like they literally wait until the last second just to try to get people to scoop. And when I get that feeling, that's when I just bust out like Steven Universe or Big Bang Theory or something and just, you know, watch a few episodes. Good stuff. Alright, so we see a double colorless. So we got that on Xerneas, and we're going to see Hoopa grab Volcanion, probably Shaman, and maybe Genesect. Oh, just the two, I guess. He's running the Bisharp. I can't help but notice that's something I cut from my list a long time ago playing Rainbow Road. My ill-fated Fort Wayne deck that didn't do nearly as well as I had hoped. So he benches Volcanion, he benches Shaman, only gets 2 cards off of it, though. That kind of sucks. See a T-mail here. Let's see if he finds anything. Alright, there's a Skyfield. So you can play that, go ahead, load your bench, and hopefully I can parallel you. It's not super likely, but miracles do happen. We've witnessed them before, such as New England losing in the postseason. Hopefully happens again this year. I'd say I'm sorry if you're a Patriots fan, but I don't know. I don't want to be mean or anything. I just really don't like the Patriots. You guys probably already know that, though. Alright, so we're going to Flare Grunt that energy, and then we're going to... I really don't want... God, I don't want to send that back to the bench. He can use the stupid Max Elixirs, then. I'm just going to Shaman for 2. Yeah, let's play this. Alright, we're grabbing an N for next turn. It's decent, I guess. It's not great. Shatter Shot for 30, yo. Go damage. Because otherwise we whiffed everything, let's just face it. We got the supporter for next turn, that's all. So bad. We didn't get another Mewtwo down, we didn't get a Trubbish down, we didn't get a Parallel, we didn't get a Fighting Fury Belt. Like, we whiffed everything, except for that energy. Ugh, at least the artwork's cool. Alright, come on. Come on. Switch! Alright, well, I mean, I guess he got to do it anyway. Just playing Max Elixir here, yep. That's why I didn't want to Escape Rope. Oh, he whiffed it. Okay, cool. Alright, so he attaches a Fairy Energy and just passes a turn. There's another Mewtwo, so we can Max Elixir onto it. Actually thinking maybe we can Escape Rope here. I don't want to... God damn it, I don't want to N him. I guess we could Lysander up the... like, that thing, or we could... Oh, he's got resistance. What a douche. Could Lysander up this guy. That seems like fun. Blech. Let's do that. Attach another energy. If we had a third energy, we could just Lysander that guy, or just this thing actually and just kill it. I feel like it would be the best choice. So, I don't know. I don't know how many switches he's sitting on right now, or Floatstones, whatever. I feel like Switch is kind of better when Fright Knight is expected to be popular. So there's a Float Stone. That goes on to Volcanion. So we're not Lysandering him without a KO for the rest of the game. Another Fairy Energy, though, on the Xerneas. So still no attack from Xerneas there. And we get another Lysander. Holy cow. Alright, so we can just Lysander up the Xerneas now and knock it out. We're going to Shatter Shot here for 90. Get a KO. And we're going to take a prize card. Alright, there's our Fighting Fury Belt. So we got that N on the first turn off T-Mail after playing a supporter, and we haven't had to use it yet. Because he hasn't had any supporters yet, so he's just completely bricking at the moment. And such is the way of Standard format, I feel like. This just seems to happen a lot with just about every deck. Like, Yveltal seems to brick less than most decks, which is why it's so good. And he discards 2 Versus Seekers, holy shit, with Ultra Ball there. Grabs a Shaman. Yeah, because he had no supporters in his discard pile. So he's going to get a 6-card setup off this Shaman. Good thing we knocked that Xerneas into next week before he had a chance to really go off here. So Bisharp is going to come into play now. So that's going to give him another type. We're going to see a Fairy Energy go there. So maybe he doesn't even have a Xerneas. Oh, okay, never mind, he does. I mean, I guess if you want to try to lay down an attack for, what, 90 damage? Oh, why doesn't it do 100? I wish it did. Could just damage change it right off. So he's going to send Xerneas and 2 Fairy Energies back with Super Rod here. We see a Max Elixir waiting for that last card to be a Sycamore. He missed another Elixir after Super Rodding. Damn! Alright, so he switches into Bisharp, retaliates us for 90. Such an awkward number when he has 100 HP. Ugh. Put that thing down. And I do like my Fighting Fury Belt. Now, we could just Center Lady here. Could try to Escape Rope. I really don't want to play an N when he's at 1 card in hand. I think we just Center Lady. And like, we got a damage changed. I guess we do the 90 damage would have been the same thing. Probably the better play. But whatever. We'll Shatter Shot here for, what is it? 80 damage. Yeah. Stupid resistance. Both of those types have resistance to Psychic. He could have had -40 if they wanted to get cute. The card design. And he still doesn't have a supporter. Like, holy hell. I don't know why he didn't attack me. So we draw an Ultra Ball here, which we can use. Discard these 2 things and go find a Shaman. Assuming there's one in the deck. Alright, yeah. So that's a thing. And he's got no energy on his bench, so, you know, when we knock this thing out, we're going to be in a crazy good spot. It's like, never like, not used to seeing someone draw so poorly. We do get a Trubbish here. I'm going to go ahead and Max Elixir again. Go ahead and put the Fighting Fury Belt on there as well. And we're going to just Shatter Shot here for a knockout. My god. Inconsistency of the format is just at its premium right here. Wow. It's like, who needs Parallel City or Garbodor when he's just like, yeah, Shaman for 6, get myself out of this hole, and he just fails to get out of it completely. Like, this is just bad luck. I mean, I'm looking at this, like, I don't like playing, like, the idea of playing Hoopa and Bisharp, like, unless you're not running Galvantula, I just think that's a terrible idea. But that doesn't change the fact that he has not hit a supporter all game. So we whiff an Elixir here. We're just going to attach a 4th energy up here. And go ahead and... don't even need to play a supporter here. We'll just Shatter Shot. We've got Lysander in the discard pile for the win next turn. Game is pretty much in our back pocket at this point, unless he finds a Max Elixir double colorless knockout. He'd have to get himself up to 6 types on the bench, which he currently only has 3. So probably have to find another Volcanion and then just something else, yeah. But he would also have to find a Max Elixir or colorless, some kind of switching method. So he'd have to get a lot here, starting with having a 3rd Shaman in his list. We do see he discards Galvantula there. So he is running Galvantula, Bisharp, and Hoopa. That is really awkward. Like, what does Hoopa search for besides Shaman? Or Shaman and Volcanion? Like, I really don't know. And instead he just grabs a Joltik here. And we're one-shotting everything. Like, VS Seeker is going to give us the game here. We're gonna pull up the Hoopa or a Shaman and just one-shot it. I mean, 2 Lysanders from the beginning of the game, so really, I just don't really see anything that he can do here. I think when we Lysandered that first Xerneas and knocked it out, that just locked up the game. It was a pretty sacky top deck, but the fact that he hasn't hit any supporters here is really what's killed him. Not really sure what else you can do in that situation. Like, he's just had nothing the entire game. Like, 2 Shaman's worth of draw, 2 cards off the first, a full 6 off the second, and just no card draw whatsoever. So as soon as he either passes the turn or scoops the game, you know, he realizes what's going on. Okay. I mean, I guess he sees he doesn't, you know, it's like we have a... He's got a single prize up in the active, so we have to Vespiquen here for this Lysander. And we're going to take the Hoop up because we do more damage that way. Fun stuff. So we're going to, yeah, Shatter Shot, hit for weakness, do quite a bit of damage there, and that's going to win us the game. So Mewtwo is able to take advantage of weakness here, but he really just bricked that entire game. Like, he had nothing, and unfortunately that is part of Standard. It kind of sucks that that's part of the format, but I don't know, like, I guess that's just something, like, okay. So, anyway, that's Mewtwo right there. I think I'm going to go ahead and do one more game for you guys, though. Okay, so Dark, probably Yveltal, makes the most sense. Alright, so we lost another coin flip, that's fine. I am Iriani. Alright, okay, I'm Heretic. Alright. Cheesy nicknames aside. So let's put a Mewtwo up in the front, and that's a lot of supporters, goddamn. Okay. Maybe he'll play the end. I don't know. If not, I'm not really sure which one I want to play just yet. Okay, so he's got an Yveltal. He's playing the Mew. Oh, I haven't seen the Mew build of this in a long time. This is like ARG Oklahoma levels of Ancient. God damn. Thought Azul Griego kind of, you know, made this not a thing when he played Yveltal Garb and won the first Standard Regional of the season down in Orlando or Florida, whatever. Wherever in Florida it was. So instead he's going to play... Alright, he's going to Ultra Ball here. He discards a Switch, another Ultra Ball, grabs a Fright Knight. We see a Max Elixir here. So that's going to put an energy on the Fright Knight Yveltal. Do you have a supporter, good sir? Certainly hope so, because my Rainbow Road opponent didn't. Alright, there's a Sycamore. Let's actually have a game. Okay, so he discards a Darkness, opts not to attach it. Looking for a double colorless, I guess. Puts another Mew down, and that's really bad news for us if we can't get Garb set up, because that sucker hits us for weakness. That's really bad. So he whiffs an Elixir. Looks like he hits the second one, so the Mew is going to get an energy. And... Oh, geez, another... My god, 3 of them. Okay, at least he whiffs on 2. I could be okay with that. And we draw another Sycamore, which is just trash. So we're going to... Let's see. What do we have here? We're going to actually take this Floatstone, since I'm going to Ultra Ball here for a thingamabob before we just discard everything. Trubbish. Yeah. Gotta get Garbodor into play here. Otherwise we might have a problem. So we're going to do that, and... Okay. And we could Shatter Shot and just get an easy KO here, and then he can go, let's see, 24... if he had double colorless, that's a terrible prize trade. If he were to hit a colorless and a belt, he could knock us out. That would really suck. Screw it, YOLO. Die. He doesn't have very many cards in his hand, although I'm willing to bet he probably does have another supporter or reverse seeker here, since doesn't seem to be bricking like my last opponent did. Really just hoping he doesn't hit that double colorless, which of course he has. So Evil Ball's gonna knock us out. That sucks. At least we can just return the favor with another Mewtwo. So actually, yeah, why Cyclone? That's a better idea. I don't know why I didn't just, you know, realize the most common play that all Yveltal players make here is he gets an energy back to the Fright Knight. Okay, so we're gonna get Garbodor. We do get another Mewtwo, so we can knock out the Mew. Get Garb down into play. Can put Jirachi here. And let's see. Go ahead and play Super Rod as well. Put those two back. And I mean, do I want to end him here? I guess we could end him down to 4. That's not bad. Maintain a couple of cards. Apparently he had a bad hand because he just gave us a smiley face. So we're gonna elixir. That'll get us closer to damage change. Alright, so Shatter Shot here is gonna knock Mew out. And we'll get another prize card. Alright. So we're finding more energy. That's all cool. We'll be able to damage change next turn if he hits us for 60, and then just Shatter Shot him the following turn. You could try to Lysander, I guess, on Jirachi. You could just Stardust his energy. And what does this thing do? Oh, okay. What the fuck? Holy crap! Your damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon selecting your opponent's other Pokemon. Okay, so the damage has to be on your opponent's bench. That's the only thing we have to make note of, is it doesn't work with damage on the active. And he's got no energy anywhere over here. Nice full art, though. That's just 10 in sleep. Okay, that's fine. I don't really care about that. He didn't support or... Oh, no, he hexed us. Okay. I mean, we have Garbodor, so who really cares? We're going to go ahead and we're going to damage change here. Give him back his 60 damage. And then we'll be able to knock him out next turn. And, alright, so we see another Verse Seeker, so he's got his Sycamore back. He can start charging up a Yveltal EX here. 70 HP. That one doesn't, this one doesn't actually have resistance to darkness, or I mean to psychic though either. So he puts a Oblivion Wing Yveltal down. And another Yveltal EX. Please tell me you run a 4th one and that it's the shiny tin promo. All different. So cool. Alright, so we're going to see a double colorless come down, and that's actually really bad. So you can start getting knockout. Now, we could Verse Seeker Lysander also to try to bring this guy up, which might not be a bad option. So instead, he's going to escape rope us here. Okay. So I guess since we have Garb in play, we can just bring Jirachi up. That's fine. If he really wants to knock it out, that's cool. So he's gonna bring up... Okay, he's gonna bring up Spiritomb here. He already attached energy, so there's not really a whole lot else to do. We're gonna Floatstone. And he left our Mewtwo with no damage on it, which is really interesting. So we're gonna retreat. And I don't even think we need to attach another energy, really. I think we just Lysander up that Yveltal EX that has the energy. Bring that up, and Shatter Shot here for 90. And then even if he does throw the Fighting Fury Belt down, we just kill it next turn with another energy. I guess we could have brought this up and killed it, but it's only worth 1 prize, so it's not too highly appealing at the moment. At least this way we force him to find another Dark Energy, which is a little less likely. We're going to see he plays an N here, so both of us get to 4-card hands, and maybe we draw something a little better. Okay, yeah, Delinquent and Sycamore. That's good. Ultra Ball's there. Plenty of options now. And how many Max Elixirs? We were only down 1 Max Elixir. Okay. And 6 energy still between the deck and the prizes. So we'll see if he gets the Darkness energy he needs here. He's only got 2 in his discard. Okay, 1 on this guy. That's only 3, though. Not a lot. He should still have plenty of stuff left. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Alright, there it is. 20, 40, 60, 80, 120, 140. So, of course, he's going to Y-Cyclone it back instead. Definitely the correct call. Move that double colorless to another Yveltal EX. And that's exactly what we're going to see. Now, we're going to get the inside track here on our prize count a little bit. And we can also force him to have to Evil Ball by putting this Fury Belt down. So we're going to Ultra Ball away Delinquent and the Psychic Energy. And we're going to go find another Mewtwo. And then we're going to put the Fury Belt on the active one to force him to Evil Ball us instead of Y-Cycloning again. Oh, wow. And we find 2 Enhanced Hammers. Holy cow. All right. I'm a fan of that. All right, so let's get rid of that. And let's get rid of the one over here as well. Holy shit. Okay, and maybe we find a max elixir here. Yeah, alright, that's what we want. So we can do that, and we may even be able to just sit on this Mewtwo again for another turn now. So we do find an energy, we can put it on the other Mewtwo, and we can Shatter Shot here for a KO. Wow! Alright, so that gives us a knockout, gets us down to 2 prize cards, and now he's got 2 Yveltal EXs, both with no energy. His only energy is here. He needs to find a double colorless if he wants to attack with it. So yeah, I think the option here is to go Oblivion Wing. And we can actually move 120 damage right onto this thing with damage change. If only we had a Lysander for this guy. Oh, Christ. Alright, so he Sycamores here again. Alright, that's fine. Discards a Lysander. So we got Lugia. And he's going to Super Rod here. Does get his Darkness Energy on the Oblivion Wing. Guess you put Yveltal EX back here. And a couple of Darkness Energy. So that leaves him with, what, 1 in the discard? Yeah. Alright. So that 1 is going to get Oblivion Winged out of the discard onto, presumably, an EX Yveltal here. And we're going to be able to damage change quite a bit off of Mewtwo here. Granted, if we attach to Psychic, we could just do 130 and knock him out, but not really thinking that's the option right now. I don't think that's the best play. We do find a Sycamore. Let's see, both Lysanders are gone. Only 1 Verse Seeker is in the discard, though. So we can just attach to this Mewtwo. I'm going to go ahead and just throw these things away. We don't need them. Alright, so we find another Garbodor setup, which honestly I think I'm okay with just grabbing that. Really don't need the 3rd Mewtwo here. I think we just throw it away. Alright, so we find a few things. We get a Fighting Fury Belt over here. We do have a Parallel City we could use. Let me see here. Mainly just want to keep the Garbodor as a thing to maintain... I'm losing my train of thought, sorry. To maintain Fright Knight from being able to shut down our belt and get a knockout, but we're going to go ahead and take some kind of a KO here or lay a bunch of damage on an Yveltal EX one way or another with this Escape Rope here. So he's going to switch into Spiritomb, which I guess isn't really that big of a loss to him. And we're just going to go ahead and retreat, and then we're going to damage change, knock him out. And that puts us in a spot where 1 more energy next turn will win us the game, unless he brings out an EX. So that'll force him to bring an Yveltal EX up, which we have Flare Grunt ready for. So instead he brings up the baby Yveltal, and then he's got to have an N here. He's got to N us down to 1 to prevent the game from just ending on the next turn. So we do see a Trainer's Mail. Gotta think he's got a Versus Seeker or something. 5 cards in hand. Let's use 2 VS Seekers. Okay. I actually didn't see what he grabbed there. Impulse discard issues. I do that a lot. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is there any? Okay. Let's see. No, whatever. We'll just throw it. That's the only thing. That's the least useful thing on our bench since we only need 1 more prize. And we were able to get all that damage off of Mewtwo. But of course he T-mails again and he does find the end. So we're gonna be playing out of a 1-card hand here. And I mean, I guess we could try to... Let's see, he attaches another Darkness there. Does he even have an energy in here? No, he doesn't. Not a Darkness. And we could try to just... If we don't get the energy next turn, we could try to damage change the 30 back to him. But, of course, we top-decked it. Alright. Story of my life right now. Why doesn't this happen in tournaments? God damn. So we're just going to attach this energy and kill him. And that's going to be the game. Oh, we top-decked another one. Hey. Hey, Oh, not damage change. That'd be a horrible misclick. Shatter Shot! Woot! Alright, so the center lady, that's our last prize. So there is Mewtwo Garbodor. No Mega Evolutions. We are playing strictly off the Shatter Shot damage change. the Red Mewtwo, as I like to call it. So, Max Elixirs, Fighting Fury Belts, not running the Mega just opens up a few more card slots for some consistency, some disruption. Great Yveltal matchup right there. I really do believe that this deck actually has a very solid Yveltal matchup overall. We were able to win against Rainbow Road, mainly because it bricked, I think, but when Rainbow Road runs hot, I think it beats just about everything. And, you know, able to come across, you know, Garbodor shutting down stuff like Volcanion, Scizor, etc. So, I actually really like this deck, and I'm curious to keep testing it and see what I can make happen with it. But for now, that is Mewtwo, Garbodor, and I'm Heretic. I will see you all next time. Cheers.